Hiawatha Bray here with an embarrassing confession. I'm not as smart as I look. Actually, I find out a lot of what I know about technology and a great many other things by doing research. I talk to a lot of people. I read books and magazines, and I also go online. Sometimes I can just go there and ask a question and get the answer that I need. That's because there is an increasing number of these so-called Q&A sites out there that let you do exactly that. They've been around for a long time with services like Yahoo Answers and Answers.com, but there are more and more of them seemingly almost every day, and they give you some really helpful options. Let me show you. To get an idea of how these Q&A sites work, let's start with one of the venerable classics in the field. It's called Answers.com, and it's a really good place to get fast answers to a whole range of different questions. Just for the heck of it, I decided to ask a rather obvious basic historical question. Who assassinated the Archduke Franz Ferdinand? Now when you press go here, you click go, and instead of answering the question directly, they've searched the database and found out that somebody else asked a very similar question, and up pops that answer. And it includes the name of the assassin, Gavrilo Princip, and in fact tells you more than you even wanted to know. Not only who did the assassination, but why. This was written by a user of Answers.com, and you can read it and decide whether or not the answer is a good one. But notice also one of the drawbacks here. You have no way of knowing absolutely that this person knows what he's talking about. You'd have to go and do further research to make sure that the information he's giving you is accurate. Still, if you don't know anything about this subject, you've gotten at least the beginnings of an idea of what to do next. Let's take a look at another service and see how it answers that question. Much the same thing happens when I go to Quora, which is a very widely discussed and increasingly popular search engine for questions. I start typing the question, who assassinated Archduke Franz Ferdinand, and immediately a bunch of potential answers start to pop up before I even finish typing. And here, the second of them seems to be what I'm looking for. Bosnian Serb nationalist Gavrilo Princip and the Habsburg Archduke Franz Ferdinand. This is a very effective way of getting basic information very quickly. Q&A services are so popular that even the giant social networking service Facebook has dived into the fray. Check this out. You go down here on the right edge of my Facebook page and you see questions. These are questions that Facebook members throw out there, and anyone at all who sees it on Facebook can try to answer it. You can go over into the questions section, press question, and try to ask one of your own. You can see the problem. There are older Q&A sites like Answers.com or Yahoo Answers. They've been around for years. Millions of people have asked and answered questions, and they've got this database. You go there, ask a question, and there's a good chance your answer will pop up immediately. But then there are the newer ones like Facebook Questions, for example, or Quora. They haven't been around as long, and so there are lots of things where there's no answer in the database. You'll have to post your question and wait for somebody to answer it. That could take hours, or it could take days. But still, there's a huge amount of intelligence and brain power floating around in the world with people who know vastly more than you do about every conceivable subject. And Q&A websites are a really good way of tapping into that collective intelligence. From the Tech Lab, this is Hiawatha Bray.